Happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
On January 17th, 1920, 6 armed men robbed a Chicago freight train. But it wasn't money they were after. The robbers made off with thousands of dollars worth of whiskey.
Entering battle as if in a bygone age, the Polish cavalry charges the German tanks.
The unintended consequences of Prohibition.
Oh, boy! Come on, Minnie. This is it.
Let's get the gang.
On the 25th of September, Hitler orders the bombing of Warsaw.
Temperance groups believed that alcohol was the fundamental driver behind problems like poverty and domestic violence, and set out to convince governments of this.
Come on, everybody.
Here we go!
First gained traction during the Industrial Revolution. The production and sale of alcohol in the United States came on the heels of a similar ban in Russia that started as a wartime measure during World War I. Many believed alcohol should be banned entirely.
100 years of stories.
Make it pink.
And is slaughtered.
The aim would be for the pincers to meet near Warsaw.
Many people believed banning alcohol would make America more peaceful.
100 years of magic.
Oh, help!
Violent murders, widespread corruption, and the dawn of organized crime defined the decade and beyond.
Do you think all the villains will show up?
Not all.
All that and more on today's episode of the podcast that never sleeps.
Y'all ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the podcast that never sleeps. Now kick back in your seat and witness greatness.
All right. Greatness.
We're all here. That's where we're at. We're just showing you a little preview of what's to come. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast Never Sleeps. I'm your host, Killer Cam, a.k.a. Cam, a.k.a. your boy. And with me always is the funny and very knowledgeable Resurrected Jared, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey
it's Jared. It's Jared.
Hello out there in TV land.
TV land. So, Jared, I know they got a little teaser at the beginning, but will you do us a kindness and will you explain what this episode's about today?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because, so 2023 celebrates 100 years of Disney. It's their 100th anniversary. And something interesting, we're celebrating a lot of anniversaries in 2023. Some you probably didn't really know about, but there were some amazing events that have big anniversaries this year. We're going to mention a few of those and just have fun with a few interesting, disparate, but connected topics.
Disparate but connected topics. Yeah, so it's anniversaries. So it's Disney's 100-year anniversary this year.
Yeah.
And it's
the big 100.
Yeah, the big century mark. They hit it. They did it.
What about Monster Zero? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
It's sort of like jumbo shrimp. Right? Because like having like sugar.
Oh, that's not where I was going with it, but yeah, jumbo shrimp is funny.
Yeah, like oxymoron is what
I was just thinking. Have you seen that Kong versus King of the Monsters? Or no, was it Godzilla King of the Monsters?
So I've seen none of any of them.
Dude, what? The
I tried to watch.
Movies they're so
well,
good.
I've tried to watch all of them.
Yeah, they're great.
And
you're crazy.
I remember I fell asleep during Godzilla, so I should just turn those movies on to help me sleep.
Yeah.
I fell asleep during Godzilla. Fell asleep during. Was there a solo King Kong or no?
Oh, King Kong started it all. Yeah, it was the first.
Oh
one
yeah,
to
yeah,
come
that's
out.
Skull Island. Yeah, I didn't watch that at all.
So good.
I didn't see that. It had Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston. I'm like, oh, they're trying to use
and what's his name?
Samuel
Brody?
Jackson.
Adam Brody.
Well, minus him. I'm saying they're trying to use all MCU actors, but
Yeah.
They had Nick Fury. They had
Dude,
fucking
killed
Captain
it.
Marvel.
Nnick Fury was so good in it.
But my
His,
point
fight
is
with Kong. Yeah.
he's fist fighting Kong.
Yeah.
Come
almost.
on, you son of a
But
bitch.
they have like this cool rivalry, and because that one's the 70s, it takes place during Vietnam. That's kind of the beginning, and then we get to come forward. You see Godzilla. We get introduced to him and kind of his whole thing and how he is in balance with humanity and the earth. Then we get to see the monsters. So then they all the Titans get rose.
I get it. So
and then we
I've
get
seen
Kong
the
versus
previews and
Godzilla.
stuff. So then we can move on. Kong versus Godzilla. I tried to watch,
the one, yeah.
and I saw like this upside down world. Then they fell right side up. I'm like, okay, it's just silly.
No,
silliness.
it's that's the whole Hollow Earth theory. They play with the Hollow Earth theory in it. They play with the Hollow Earth portals, where that's how like when you go deep in the ocean, there's openings that take you to different parts of the planet through Hollow Earth.
Is
They
that
play
what
with
they were
all-
doing?
Yeah, they play with all.
Oh,
of these
that's sort of
cool-
dope as shit.
There's so many cool things they play with.
Okay.
Like
I
tons
didn't know
of,
it was-
yeah, those kind of.
I didn't know it was a
conspiracies.
cool ass movie.
No,
I
they're-
thought it was stupid as shit.
Godzilla lives
well,
in
imagine
Atlantis.
me. Oh, that's madness. Okay, I love it.
Because
But
Atlantis
imagine
sinks and
how
gets-
I'm feeling. I'm expecting a Godzilla versus King Kong movie. Fucking fight him, drag him
Yeah,
out crazy.
that's what happens.
And I see
And Mecha
Tom
Godzilla.
Hiddleston or someone. I don't know who's even in the movie.
No, it's 13 or 11. I mean,
I see 11.
Yeah,
you always call
11.
it 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see 11 running around. I'm like in this
'cause
upside
she
down
was in the
universe.
previous
like
one.
enough. But
Well, she doesn't go there.
all I remember about all those movies, like the only thing that stuck out is because I saw it like meme to hell is the guy from Inception. He's in every movie. Ken Watanabe. He's in all the Nolan movies.
Yes,
And
he's
"Let
so
them-"
good.
He says,
Let 'em fight.
Let them fight.
That's the best.
Dude, come
Even
on.
when he says it is Godzilla for the first time, you're like, yes.
It is Godzilla.
Yeah, he's got such a good.
He has such a thick accent.
So yeah, Monarch, this secret dark agency that's been
I'll watch it.
protecting
Yeah, I'll
these
watch it.
things is so fun. But watching the Titans fight each other is the best. Kong is such a badass. Dude, they're good. Watch
Okay.
them in order. Though.
I'll watch. Well, yeah, I'm not
They're
going to
all
watch it in order.
connected.
I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah.
But okay, so 100 years of
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
90-year anniversary of Prohibition.
Yep.
And something else. They
The
didn't get into.
105th anniversary of World War I's armistice. The end of World War One.
The Armistice.
Yep.
I only know that word because of one movie.
Wonder Woman.
Yes, Wonder
Yeah.
Woman. That's the only reason why I know that.
Dude,
that
killer
term at all.
movie. Yeah, great World War
And they
I
said it
movie.
probably 477 times. The Armistice. Oh, the Armistice? The
Yeah.
Armistice.
Yeah, it's interesting the whole story around the armistice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
to jump off, you want to just start with some Prohibition?
Yeah, let's get into an anniversary. So you said it what, 90th?
Oh, this is fun. 90th anniversary of Prohibition.
Okay.
So,
Wow, what a silly idea.
okay. So, do you know why they wanted to ban alcohol?
I think there was a lot of religious reasons, and country
Well,
was,
they, was a little
different.
Catholics, Christians, they drink wine at the, it's the blood of Christ, right?
Right.
So, but, so like one of the main reasons,
Yeah.
and I just found this out and it's funny. So, industrialists were for it because they're like, oh, everyone's drunk all the time. It's making, it's production. It's making production
People
shitty.
aren't working hard enough.
People aren't working because
That's
they're all
funny.
drunk. Did you know that people back then in the 19th century drank 3 times as much as people do these days? 3 times.
Of course, I would think.
3
I would
times.
imagine. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a lot. So they drank 3 times, or tree if you're German, 3 times the amount that we do today.
Yeah.
And so industrialists were like, you know what? We all our workers are drunk all the time. They're not getting anything done.
Mm-hmm.
And then women were at the forefront of this war because they're like, yeah, our husbands are drunk all the time and they're beating on our
Right.
children and us.
Yeah.
And they go to work drunk. They get home and get drunker. So it was women and like
Yeah,
industrialists.
alcohol has horrible side effects. We get that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially the amount they were drinking. They would start the day with whiskey. Even there's funny stories of
crazy.
it was like Andrew Jackson or somebody.
Starting the day.
Yeah, he had a party at the White House and it got destroyed. They had to move the party outside because everyone got so drunk and destroyed the White House. Frederick Douglass is quoted saying,
Yeah.
"Drinking alcohol makes me feel like a president."
Oh, that's so
like,
funny.
dude, yeah.
Yeah,
So
not and not everybody gets that kind of drunk. He gets the good drunk. I
that
guess.
that good drunk, yeah. It's not fireball drunk.
Yeah, there's a
where
lot of
you're
people
just
that get a bad.
angry.
Yeah, they're just.
I
horrible.
swear, the only time me and my ex-girlfriend fought was when we drank Fireball, and then we'd fight and we'd say, "We got to remind each other not to fucking drink Fireball." And then next time we're like, "We'll have a shot. Who cares, right? We'll have a shot."
That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, sir. Could we just get 2 shots of Fireball? Then
Fireball's
20
what?
minutes
Is
later,
it? Is it whiskey?
It's a cinnamon whiskey.
Okay.
And 20 minutes later, we'd be like, "I kill you." That was a joke from my least favorite joke from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Okay.
I kill you.
Yeah.
It's the worst impression. I hate it.
I
I've
don't
talked
even
to you about
remember
it.
that part.
Yeah, he's doing an impression of Flavor of Love. He's like, wow, talking to Miley Cyrus, whatever her name is, Mindy
Mila
Kaling.
Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Mindy Kaling was so
Mila
close.
Kunis.
He's talking to Mila Kunis, who just like freaked out at somebody for him, and he's like, oh, it was like you were one of those girls from Flavor of Love. I killed it all. It's the fucking worst thing.
That's funny.
Anyway, so women were at the forefront of this.
Yeah.
So they started this group. What's it called? The Armistice.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. Temperance.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the same.
Temperance
It's like the same, literally the same letters just jumbled around.
Yeah.
So the temperance movement, they started the temperance movement. So women didn't have like any even rights back then.
Right.
And they're like,
I
you
was
know
gonna say,
what?
this was before suffrage,
Bro,
right?
yeah.
Could they vote yet?
No, they had no
so,
rights.
yeah.
Like even breathing, people were like, are you allowed to do that? Yeah, it was very, back in the day.
Awful. Yeah.
It was awful.
We've come a long way. That's only 90 years ago.
I know.
Doesn't it seem like that
A
should
million
be
years ago,
a lot longer?
Yeah,
no,
it seems
it's
like
not.
that happened on the plains of Africa, fucking, a billion years ago.
Yeah.
But,
The
yeah, no,
cradle.
it happened, yeah. My grandpa was telling me about it. No, it's
wild. Only
crazy.
90 years. Yeah.
So check it out. So they're like, the women who didn't have rights were at the forefront of this, and they're like, you know what? Screw this. Started protesting, and men were like shocked at first. They're like, what?
Yeah, why would you want to take this away from us?
Yeah.
This
What are you
is
doing here,
it's such
lady?
a great thing. See
Yeah.
you in 3 days.
Yeah, we have laundry to be done. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
meals need to be cooked. You know, things need to happen here. And that gave rise to this other group, the Anti-Saloon Corporation. The Anti-Saloon.
How does it get so popular
What's the friend of my
that Congress gets involved and actually, because this was an amendment,
Yes.
they amended the Constitution for Prohibition. That seems like holy crap! Like how could it get that far? Like we're kind of coming out of a prohibition right now in this country. It seems like state by state every year on the marijuana subject.
Yeah, so this is very similar. So
Yeah.
the Anti-Saloon League is what they were called. And to answer your question, hey, Deb, what's up? AKA an instant
a-hole?
K-hole. A-hole? K-hole?
Probably
I don't know.
a-hole because like the drinking.
So check it out.
Yeah.
So it first started after this unprecedented thing with women saying, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
We're going to go protest. I'm not making you a sandwich.
Was there an inciting incident, like a big riot or something?
So
or-
there was a few little things. One inciting incident that really got women behind it was this one woman called something Nation, Carol Nation or something.
Yeah.
And she would walk around with a hatchet and go into saloons and fucking just destroy them. So everyone was terrified of this woman.
Yeah, that's
and so
scary.
it gave the other women the gusto to be like, yeah, we could fucking do that.
Yeah, we
And
could do that.
Yeah. So this old woman, bro, and there's pictures of her, and every picture of her, she's holding the goddamn hatchet.
Yeah, that's scary,
Dude,
That's so absurd.
yeah. Like, what are you gonna fight her? What are you gonna do? She comes into your saloon and starts breaking shit.
Dude,
You're
if
like,
I just saw an old woman carrying a hatchet, period, I'd
later,
run. Yeah.
bye,
the
yeah,
scariest
you'll never
thing
see
ever.
me again. I'll
Yeah,
leave town.
'cause you're like, what if she's not
forever.
even lucid? Like, what does she think's going
How
on?
far gone is she?
Yeah.
Because I'd think dementia
Does
immediately.
she think
right?
I'm like a monster or something?
Yeah. What does she see me as? Yeah. She
Yeah.
thinks I have like tentacles and shit. Yeah.
Oh,
Who knows?
man.
So this woman running around with her hatchet, she probably made that noise. And then she's bashing up saloons. Anybody with a bottle in her hand would come and smash it. Just a crazy, crazy lady. And then so women were like, oh, let's
We
do
can
it.
do this.
We can do this.
I just can't
So-
believe anybody listened to where it got to
It's
Congress.
so crazy. So check it out.
Yeah.
It's like a series of unfortunate events almost.
Okay.
And self-imposed unfortunate events. Like self-imposed saying, oh yeah, this thing that we all collectively enjoy, giving life. What up, my boy?
What's up, man?
This thing that we all collectively enjoy. Yeah, let's cut ourselves off from that.
Yeah.
It's self-imposed. Anyway, so here's what happened. So the Anti-Saloon League started, and the creator of it was like a genuine nutcase. So that's all he cared about was getting this done.
And
right?
was he like an influential person of some kind, or just some random guy that started a movement?
Like the most influential person after he was just some guy who started the movement.
Wow.
Became like the most influential.
It's crazy how that
Politicians were terrified of him because he would use pressure politics. So basically, I want you to see the similarities drawn from then and now.
Yeah.
So one thing he would do is people were scared, politicians were scared that if they were on the other side or the wrong side and they wanted to vote wet as opposed to dry, then he'd be like, oh, that guy, he just make up lies.
Yeah.
Oh, he does this and loves this and hates this thing you guys love.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So every politician was like, oh, shit, I don't want everybody in the world hating me or in the county or country.
Okay, so it did come down to votes, like at the end of the day.
Yeah, so there's pressure politics being used quite a bit by this guy, just scaring politicians into losing their base. And so they're like, okay, I'll vote how you want me to vote.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so the main thing stopping the countrywide ban was America, was making 40% of its gross income from taxes on alcohol.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good money. So
That's
again,
good money.
It seems weird that anyone went along with this.
So why would anyone? So the Anti-Saloon League created a bill imposing an income tax on the people, so it would make up for the loss of money on the tax for the booze.
Okay, so maybe a bunch of rich guys thought we could get even richer, and we can pay less taxes if this was illegal.
And there
has to be like some backroom deal.
And have our workers not all drunk, working hard, and being on the up and up.
Yeah.
So so as that was rectified, the national ban of alcohol began in 1913.
So funny.
So not just as a law, like you said, as an amendment.
Yeah.
A constitutional amendment.
That's so far.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So this dissolved America's 10th largest industry, which was alcohol, the sales of alcohol, caused the loss of tens of thousands of jobs for immigrants specifically.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, many Americans who supported a self-imposed ban on booze indulged themselves and enjoyed. McKenna, what up? And enjoyed it themselves. So it's funny that they're voting for something against their own self-interest.
We're still gonna get it. Like,
that's exactly was the sentiment. That was exactly the thought.
We'll still be fine.
And that's what's so funny is that people were like, "Yeah, no. Oh, I'm voting dry for sure." A lot of propaganda was used, but they're like, "Oh, babe, but don't worry, we'll figure it out. We'll still drink."
Oh, that's so silly. So it sounds like it was a great way for a bunch of rich guys to get even richer, pay less taxes, get their workers to work even harder, and then do it all under the guise of trying to do the right thing.
Get the women back in the kitchen. And that's another thing.
Literally? That's what they were saying?
Well, that's another thing is the movement started dying on the women's end before the Anti-Saloon League really trumped it up.
Yeah.
No pun intended at all, I swear. But the women were like, well, shit, I do got to take care of the kids. I got to get back home. I can't be fucking out here all day. So unfortunately, they were sort of forced because of the social norms back then. They were sort of forced to stop the protests and stuff. But
it worked.
It worked. And so their deeds were not, they bared fruit. But unfortunately, everybody was pissed as soon as they realized, oh shit, we just voted to not drink.
Yeah.
And
an entire country.
Here's the funny thing is they thought originally that it was just on hard liquor. They're like, we could live with that. We could still drink our beer. And then the Volstead Act, named after Alexander Volstead, came into effect. And this said anything over 0.05% is illegal.
Okay.
And here's the funny part too. It wasn't illegal to consume. It was illegal to sell.
Right.
And to transport.
Okay.
So you could, if you were caught drinking it, that's okay. But are you selling it?
Okay.
Are you transporting it?
So that's why they had the speakeasies and everything had to be hidden and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So like you saw in the video package at the beginning, how did the mob get involved? How did they take over?
Yeah, because that's where they started making.
That's where they
bank.
started. Period.
Yeah,
right.
Right. Yeah, that's where all the money comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. To build empires. Yeah.
Empires. So so there was many distillers, bootleggers, and moonshiners and all that kind of stuff. So they already existed, and it was basically just regular ass people.
Yeah.
There was a woman who got life in prison for she was just a bootlegger, and she got life in prison because it was like trying to make an example out of her, right?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I just can't believe it actually got passed. It's such a weird look into our history that we would go that route. Like, I guess now because things are slowly being made legal, we're talking about a time of the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And if women weren't able to vote, you're sure about that, right? They weren't able to vote back then. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're getting votes from these big leagues of women that are for this.
Nope.
Right.
No.
So they're not getting votes this way.
No.
So what's to gain? And it sounds like it was just that they were going to try and make money.
So money,
off illegal importing.
the people, just the regular ass people, what did they have to gain? They just wanted to look good because their neighbor was voting dry. They didn't want to be like, well, I'm an alcoholic, I'm voting wet. So everybody sort of was like teased into doing it, thinking it would be
much more
fine.
religious country back then too.
And there were some loopholes. So, for example, pharmacies could still say, hey, you have a headache? Here's, drink some whiskey. So they could prescribe whiskey. Oddly enough, as soon as Prohibition went into effect, the prescriptions for alcohol went through the roof. It more than doubled, more than tripled.
That's funny, given life.
What do you say?
He says, are you going to mention the movie The Lawless?
Yeah, well, that's funny. That is funny. That was going to be the best movie ever.
Yeah, it was.
That's
so you
funny.
would have actually guessed it had we went that route.
Yeah.
It was like a 50-50, so good call.
It actually is the best movie ever of the episode, but we picked something else, but it's not even... Anyway, we'll get there. So
try and guess what it is.
Yeah, try and guess it.
Hard.
Especially what I'm about to get into right now in the video I'm going to show. So another thing that they had was it was dehydrated like grapes, and it was this little like brick, and it had a curious warning on it. It said, do not put this in water and then shelve it for 20 days because it will turn into wine, and we do not want that happening.
Yeah.
So it was funny. There was like total loopholes.
Yeah.
But because of the ban, many average people became moonshiners and bootleggers, and were making a killing. They were doing great.
Yeah, a lot of money came out of this. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was money to be made.
Oh,
once something's made illegal that every household had, and they just take it away one day.
Oh, yeah.
You know that there's going to be a market.
Doesn't mean
for
just
it.
everybody's going to stop the same
like a
day.
crazy market.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So and the supply was still there because they shut everything down, but they didn't just destroy booze. There was, some people did, but there was still warehouses full of booze.
Yeah.
Like breweries and stuff full of booze. And that booze was totally fine. You just, there was actually a guy who even utilized it. So,
and it was the country's, you said, 10th largest revenue
stream. Yeah.
So then, they're it sounds just like a lot of people were like, we're going to take that money from other people's hands and put it into ours.
And the mob was the main one to say, let's do this and let's do it right. So here's what they did.
But I'm sure they were originally hired by some wealthy benefactors that had ties to politics.
No, it was actually... No, it was maybe in some cases, but mostly it was just like lower level street gangs seeing opportunity and being like,
I mean, like on the large scale stuff, because you can't have a whole import operation and getting through customs and having those relationships. These big magnates would have had these relationships already. Would have had the means to import. And distribute. They just need criminals to do it.
These street gangs, these criminals, already had a lot of connections to police officers, and so they already had people they were bribing. Right. So they just continued to bribe them. The price went up, and now they started bribing prohibition officers, which they called prohibs. Politicians. They would
a whole department for that. It's so
literally
fun.
they created a department for it. Yeah, exactly right. So that's where the money. huge portion of the money was going just towards bribes every year. It was, I forget the exact number, but like an obscene amount just towards bribes every year. Even every month. I think I have it written down. But
Which it would be worth doing.
So to what you were saying a little bit, there's this guy, Remus. I don't know why I got to call him that, but we'll call him Remus. Okay. His name's Remus. So he set up his own drug company because drug companies, like I said, were allowed to sell booze.
Yeah.
Because pharmacies were allowed to prescribe them.
Okay.
So he set up a drug company. He also set up a transport company. And here's what he did. So he would have his drug company take the booze, create the booze, whatever. Then he would have his transport company transport it. And then he would have his own men go and hijack the truck. And then he would sell it for a higher profit.
And he was
on the black market.
I'm guessing.
Getting revenue streams from two ends.
So he's doubling
selling
up.
it for like triple the price.
Yeah.
On the black market. Well, this happened. I don't know how many times he reported all these losses because it looks sus after a minute, I'm sure. But
crime was up and this type of thing was happening all the time.
Yeah.
You could probably get away with it for a while.
But he did get caught. This guy Remus got caught and he got thrown in jail. And then when he got out of jail, he saw that his wife...
George Remus?
Untouchables. That's a fucking good guess too.
Dude,
I'll give you a hint. Given
great
life,
movie.
it's not a movie. It's a television.
It's
show.
not a movie, yeah. So that kind of screws up guessing.
Yeah, I know.
So at least
it's
you
a
gave him the
television
hint.
show. Yeah, I had to because he has the best guesses. All things we talked about.
Untouchables, great.
Yeah. So he got out of prison, and he saw that his wife was spending all of his money that he was making illegally before. Spending all of his money, and she also started having an extramarital affair with a prohib. So he goes into a cab one day. He opens the door, hops in, sees his wife driving past with that prohib. He tells the cabbie, "Hey, run them off the road." The cabbie's like, "Okay," and does it, and fucking does it.
That's great.
Remus gets out of the car.
It's a guy thing, right? You're like, dude, that guy's with my girl. Can you run him off the road? Oh, hell yeah, I will. Yeah,
Dude,
that's funny.
Hold on. Let me tell you a joke, and then I want to get back to Remus getting out of the car after he runs her off the road. So there's this great TikTok or Instagram video, reel, whatever I saw. It's this guy pulling this prank. So he goes up. It's this Asian dude, and he goes up to this guy just in Target.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro. He's like, hey, my girlfriend... he doesn't even say that. He's like, bro, I need you to act like a Chinese food worker. And he's like, okay. Immediately. He's like, this is my girl, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, babe, yeah, I'm at the Chinese place right now. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm with the waiter. And he like looks at the guy. He's like, what you want?
Yeah.
And this total like
so
white dude
great.
doing it. It's such like a guy thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we'll have the noodles. He goes, chicken or pork?
Yeah. Oh
Dude,
my
the guy
God.
fucking goes in, and then
Slays
he's
it.
like, babe, what did you want, chicken or pork? And she's like, pork. He's like, yeah, pork. Okay, pork. You want drink with that? You want soda? Bro, he like keeps going deeper.
Good
and he's like,
stuff.
and then so the guy starts laughing. He's like, and the girl's like, why are you laughing? He's like, oh, nothing, babe, nothing. Yeah, we'll take just like a Sprite. We don't have Sprite here. It's like, okay, just like a Pepsi.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you pay cash or card?
No way, dude. Good for him.
So
yeah.
good.
That's so funny.
That's such homie shit.
Yeah,
that's
that
such
is
like that's a real one.
Guys do that stuff for each other. It's hilarious.
Oh fuck, he guessed it. Son of a bitch.
Boom.
But he said it wrong, but he guessed it.
It would be him.
Boardwalk
Well,
Empire.
come on,
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned it, so George Remus is in the show, and this
Is he?
happens. The Probie,
He's the fat guy.
The Probie's the guy that comes. hunting
George Miller.
Summer-
He's the fat guy.
Superman.
Because that's how Remus
Yeah.
looked. He was
Yeah.
a portly, shorter.
Yeah,
dude.
he's represented in the show.
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, it is George Remus.
Yeah, and it's Zod, the guy that plays Zod,
Michael
is the
Shannon,
Probie
yeah.
that's having the affair. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's all in the show. The show has so much from that's like
that
real.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
So even
very realistic.
Yeah, even Arnold Rothstein, we're going to be talking about.
Rothstein's so cool. Yeah, all these characters that come out of this, and this is like
Lucky
I love how you get to see the
Luciano.
beginnings. Yeah, how they're just like henchmen doing like
Crazy shit.
driving trucks and stuff.
Do you know how Lucky Luciano got his name? Charlie Luciano got his name Lucky.
Something about gambling, right? Wasn't he a card player or something?
He was, but so there's. That was the story I first thought that he was
'cause I
lucky
think
at
he
the
had
tables
a
and shit.
poker,
Right?
a poker room in his he had a illegal
Well,
gambling.
he had a
thing
bunch of
going.
illegal gambling halls and stuff, but it was actually because he did some wild stuff. So good indeed, so good indeed.
Good, dude.
Given life, but so he did some wild stuff. Who am I talking about? Who am I saying did
Lucky
wild stuff?
Luciano.
Yeah, Charlie did some wild stuff and got hemmed up, where these guys kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Hung him, tortured the shit out of him, cut him up, did all this stuff, and he survived. So he was called Lucky.
I think that might be in the show too.
Dude,
Yeah.
crazy. What happens to Rothstein? Dude, it's all so nuts. So we'll get there. And then we're getting to the Disney stuff, and we're also getting to some World War stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Another big anniversary.
Yeah. So that's something I realize I do too much, and I hate it. So
it's not something that I've noticed.
I've noticed it, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah. People are very self-critical.
Well, it's just because I'm stupid and ugly, and I hate it. No. So, ready? Let me ask you this, then we'll get back to the goods. Then we'll get back to the fucking goods. If you had to describe me in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, shit, man.
Handsome, charming,
'Cause I've known you for
intelligent.
your whole life.
Yeah, so...
That's difficult. I would say...
hey, happy teacher mom.
I always tell,
Is
like
that
when people
tough?
ask me about you, it is because you're trying to drill somebody down into just 3 words.
Because I'm so complex and...
I would say like big heart. I know that's more than 1 word, but like if we're just talking about
No,
descriptors,
I get you. No, yeah, 3
I would say,
descriptors.
Like, got
Okay.
a big heart, like extremely caring and detail oriented, but like in a neurotic way almost. Like you're extremely but I don't know the word for that.
Yeah, like
than
detail
neurotic.
oriented, perfectionist.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
absolutely.
You'll labor over the smallest little thing, like it's such a
and
big
it'll make me
deal.
go crazy. Yeah.
And so yeah, I guess that's kind of what I would do.
All right, one more.
That's it.
It sounded like 2.
No, because caring.
A big heart,
Yeah.
detail oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, but caring. Okay, cool. For you, I would say, so you have this great knack of. I don't want to. It's the way I'm going to say it is almost going to sound bad. So yeah, let me try and phrase it. Just what I'm trying to say is,
Sounds great.
Let's first say a business brain.
Okay.
A brain for business. I mean, from forever, you've had this knack for business, for marketing, for understanding that type of stuff.
Okay.
Right. Something I'll say that's specific to this show: your ability to recall this information. You will do not only research a single topic. You'll be researching multiple topics at once and be able and have this crazy fucking recall.
I love learning about new concepts
Me too,
or
but
interesting ideas. Like, I love this stuff.
I'm so ADHD. I need to like defer to my notes because I can't just power through like you can. And then another thing. See, I did it again though. But another thing.
First 2 was the same thing. Given life agrees.
No, it was yeah.
Yeah.
Well, caring and big heart.
Fun loving. If you want to replace caring, I think that's another good one because you always are trying to have a good time, regardless of the environment or the situation.
That's facts.
Yeah. So yeah. You want to enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And I want other people to enjoy themselves. I would never want people to feel bad about themselves, or even if somebody falls, like I'll look the other way and pretend I didn't see.
That's
that kind of stuff.
nice.
But yes, you are a genius, as JB just said.
Oh, thanks, Jess.
Yes. So yeah, your ability to do that is insane, and your marketing and business mind and business acumen is perfect. And there was one other that I was thinking of earlier when I was thinking, I'm like, I want him to, ask me or define me in 3 descriptors or whatever. And now I can't think of what the fuck it is. But it was my favorite characteristic about you, and I can't even remember it. But
it's okay. Those are nice ones.
Those are nice.
I'll take them.
I'll think of it along the way. But anyway, that was a sweet little thing for you to say. I appreciate those kind words. So okay, after Remus got out of the car, after he asked the cabbie to run her off the road, his wife off the road, and he did. He gets out and shoots her. Kills
oh my
her.
God.
So back to jail he goes.
That.
Right? Yeah, right back to jail he goes. And bro, it took the jury 12 minutes to deliberate, to be like, not guilty.
Oh.
Yeah,
what?
because his wife was a 2-timer.
Oh, no way.
Not guilty.
So by reason of insanity, what is it called? Where in the moment, the heat of the moment, you commit an act of violence?
Crime of passion.
Yeah, that is a way to prove innocence. Like,
yep.
Yeah, temporary insanity, I think they say.
Call it what you want.
Yeah.
She was a 2-timer, and she got what she deserved what she got. She had it coming, apparently, according to the jury, who took no time to come up with that.
I did not expect that.
I know, crazy.
But yeah, so back then, it kind of gives you an idea of where women stood. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, so far we found out.
Oh,
they're
she
not
did
allowed
what?
to vote.
Yeah.
They couldn't stay out of the house too long to protest. They felt they needed to make booze illegal because they were under constant stress or threat. By these drunkards.
Or harm, yeah.
Yeah, and now we're finding out that a husband can kill his wife in front of witnesses in broad daylight and be proven innocent because it was her fault. Maybe she was out with this other guy because he was the worst and was doing all these other
Remus
horrible
was the
things.
worst?
Yeah. So there's
she loves spending his money though.
Two sides of the story. Yeah. So it's just funny. We're learning a lot about this time in history. Only 90 years ago.
I know.
And think about where we are today.
Ago.
Yeah. So at least we've moved in the right direction when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
There's still so much madness going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, man, just not guilty. Oh, good.
That's wild.
Yeah, he turned himself in immediately, and they put him in jail. Then after the jury, they were cool with it.
Yeah.
So then came around speakeasies. We all have heard of speakeasies, man.
They seem fun.
They seemed so fun,
Yeah.
and you know
I
why?
like the music of the time period too.
You know why they were so fun, or it seemed so fun? Because they were so fun.
It'd be like the most.
So
fun.
it would be just like a storefront.
Exactly.
Or it would be just a doorway.
Dude, there's one in Vegas, right?
We have a couple in Vegas. Yeah.
Where it looks like a storefront, but then you open like the cooler and you go into it, and there's like a door, and then you go down like a slide, and then you're in a whole a nightclub.
A restaurant one. Yeah, that's Area 15 has that.
Oh, cool.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It's a grocery store, and you like open the thing and walk in.
Yeah, you're right about that. Isn't there a pizza place with one at the Cosmo?
Secret pizza.
Dude,
but it's
so
just
cool.
there's no like sign.
Yeah.
There's no.
You just have to know it's
color,
there.
Yep. Anything. You just have to know it's there. Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
And it's some of the best pie in town, which is
I haven't
crazy.
tried it. I really want to go see this place.
Secret pizza, because there's no name. People just call it secret pizza because there's literally no fucking name for it.
How cool! If
It's
I was
dope.
gonna make a place, that would do something like that.
So
yeah.
have you been to Capo's?
I've never been there. I know like they have that the mobster whole
Thing,
ambiance. And
yeah.
you have to like knock on the door. The guy slides the thing.
That's
or whatever.
it. What's the password?
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's my name. It's like, I didn't ask your name. I asked for the password. So,
but that is it. Welcome.
Yeah, but yeah, this conversation was the entire password. Welcome in.
Yeah.
So so there were speakeasies and they worked just like that. So you go to this storefront and it just looked like a laundromat or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, what's the password? And they'd be like, I'm a probie. You're under arrest. No, Felicity, what up? The Barbershop 2. I don't want to finish reading.
Barbershop opens into a sick bar.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought she was talking about the movie Barbershop 2.
Through the back. No, like the Barbershop 2, TOO.
I think that's what it was called, the Barbershop 2 instead of 2. You know how some movies do that. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so Capo's, it's Capo's because Al Capone.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, you knock and they're.
I thought a capo was like a rank in the.
It is. It's well,
mafia.
capo means boss in Italiano. The capo di capo means the boss of bosses, who Lucky Luciano becomes. So yeah, let me burn through this. So, yeah. So you would enter through the side. It was super cool.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that was so dope about it is because of this band, everybody was going to these speakeasies. Everybody was getting together. So racial divides, Irish with blacks, with whites, with greens, with pinks, didn't matter. Everybody was there just to get drunk, gamble, prostitution, all of it. They were just, it was debauchery up the
it was just like all kinds of crazy things going on. Because if they're going to do the illegal alcohol, do it all, I guess.
Well, yeah.
That's funny.
They're like, oh, why'd you ban alcohol? You thought this, that, and the third?
Yeah.
Well, this, that, and the third. Yeah, that's what happened. And so bootleggers and moonshiners were huge, but the opportunity for another group rose to power. Cool, I'm just repeating myself in my notes. Okay, mobsters and gangsters. So existing small-town street gangs jumped on the opportunity quickly and rose to power, becoming giant criminal enterprises as opposed to little street gangs.
Any ones that we would know?
Yeah, there's a couple. So we had the why, we had the how.
Yeah.
What about the who?
Yeah.
So the who. So each major area had its major gangs and its bosses who ran things in each area, right? So they also had a treaty that they all agreed to after a time because there was territorial like fighting. There was gangs killing each other on the regular every single day.
There's so much crime during Prohibition.
Dude, it was gang murders because this gang would stop this truck and take their loot, whatever.
Yeah.
What did JB say?
She went to a speakeasy. It's a tequila speakeasy in New York City. You go through into the kitchen and then down these stairs into the basement.
Wicked,
and
so
it's a
fucking
whole,
cool.
Yeah, I love that people are still making them. Like just so we could.
Every business should be a
today.
speakeasy. Even McDonald's should be like.
I'd be so annoyed though if all of them.
Oh,
were
it'd be
like,
obnoxious.
So
but-
where's the door? You gotta find it yourself.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have a
I
door.
just need a piece
this
of
isn't
pizza,
even a
man.
business. No,
I
we're
really
closed.
have to use the restroom. I gotta pee. Like
Sorry.
Good luck finding the
passwords
door. Yeah.
and some doors. Yeah.
And doors.
So yeah, they agreed to a treaty which allowed each gang to run their own territory.
Okay.
And without interference.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's
so
what it should be.
Who had Chicago? Johnny Torrio.
Yeah,
right.
Torrio. Yeah.
Whose right hand man was a gentleman named
Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Yeah, worked his way up under Torrio.
So-
we see that in Boardwalk Empire.
When Torrio retired to Italy,
Yeah.
Capone takes his place.
Yeah.
Now
he
he's
was a madman.
He was fucking insane.
Yeah, he's just crazy.
Do you know why he's called Scarface?
Because he had a big scar on his face.
But do you know how he got this guy?
During the war, right?
No, so in an alley, people like tried to kill him, and they had a knife, and but they couldn't get him, and so he has.
I
these
thought he
fucking
fought in a
giant scars.
war.
Yeah, the war on alcohol,
The Great War.
the real Great War. No, so Torrio said, "Hey, I'm off to Italy. Italy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm off to Italy. So you have my whole business now." So Capone inherits $1 billion industry.
Right.
Billion with a B in today's money. So, and then in New York, who did we have running shit?
Eventually, it was Rothstein and
was.
Luciano, right?
Luciano. So Charlie Lucky Luciano organized the Italian and Jewish gangs in New York.
Yeah.
Under Joe Massaria. And Joe the Boss Massaria. And before Luciano had... So, I don't know why I said that. So Luciano had Massario killed. And in the same year, he had... who would have been the successor, Salvatore Maranzano, also killed the same year. So, dude, Charlie knew what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he's just a go-getter, you know? He just really went after it.
He
and
really
I praise him
was.
for it. No,
Yeah.
he was the go-getter of all
And we
go-getters.
see that in the show.
Yeah,
If
100%.
you haven't seen Boardwalk Empire, please go watch it.
Yeah.
It is all of this.
So Charlie...
historically accurate, but it's so entertaining.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlie goes on to start the commission, as they call it, the commission. And it's a national crime syndicate, basically, composed of New York's 5 big mafia families.
So by trying to mitigate violence by banning alcohol, they created organized crime.
Yes.
They gave it legs. They gave it
Not only that,
streams.
so they would go and like Congress or politicians would go and they'd look at the numbers big. Alcohol consumption has dropped tremendously nationwide.
Right.
But it's grown hugely in these areas, and crime has gone through the roof.
Right, yeah. that's
Murder's
weird.
fucking higher than ever. They're like,
yeah.
And that was the whole plan on the politicians' end was they wanted crime. They thought it would help crime decrease.
Of course.
Because if not everyone's drunk and crazy all the time, nobody's going to hurt anybody.
It just gave,
Quite the opposite.
Gave the money
Literally the
to
opposite effect.
people that were willing to kill for it.
And what do we got in the chat real quick?
It looked like a Roberto's, that speakeasy that she's talking about, the tequila speakeasy. Yeah. Let's see. Given Life says it was like the 80s in California. You get all the violence, and,
the debauchery.
the gangs and the destruction,
Drugs and
Prohibition. Yeah, it was like the 80s in California. The black gangs in New York too.
Don't forget about the black gangs in New York.
Yeah.
So there was all different gangs. Some gangs had, most gangs had mixed. So there was Irish gangs, but they also had black guys in there, and they had what are those like Czechs in there? They had Slovaks. That's what I meant. Like all boom, boom, boom all together.
Yeah.
Jews would be with this and with Italians and these and these.
Yeah.
So it was intermingling, which is cool. Just like the speakeasies, why they were so dope. is because
Crime brought everyone together.
It's a beautiful thing. So. Prohibition ended with the ratification of the 21st Amendment in 1933. The mafia continued with their crime ways, though. That didn't slow them down at all.
Now they had a huge bank. Yeah, they could fund whatever projects they wanted. It's unreal,
literally.
dude.
It was $1 billion. So $1 billion today is money.
So
$1 billion.
so gross, yeah.
That just Al Capone fucking went through his hands.
Kennedy, didn't his family make a bunch of money during Prohibition? That was part of he had mafia ties. Joe Kennedy, the father of the president.
So that's the rumor.
Yeah.
I didn't look into that, but I've heard that years ago that even the John that Jack had ties to the mafia.
That they helped get him elected. Yeah.
Like him and Sinatra were both
because you had
loved by the mob.
You had mafia backing. I mean, they would force people to go vote. They would
force people. Period. Yeah. Fill in the blank. They would force people to fill in the blank.
Their politician being in office was a huge thing.
Oh, you don't want to sign him to your record label? What about now? What about now? That's right.
Yeah.
So the mafia families had already entered the world of prostitution and illegal gambling, and continued to grow through the country, throughout the whole country. On the back of their profits from Prohibition. So Prohibition created the mob in America.
Yeah.
So good idea, guys. Talk about fucking backfiring.
Yeah.
In a big goddamn way.
Yep. And then they undid it all anyway. So
just
it doesn't seem like anything good came out of this.
Well, we got some cool movies based on it. We got some good shows.
I guess morally, I'm saying that,
the government has always had ties to the job. To the mob, I'm assuming it means until recently. Who knows until recently? Because
that's true,
in
Chase.
some of my research, it says the mob's still very prevalent.
There was just a big mob arrest a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Rico. So check this out. I'm about to tie together a few of our favorite things. I don't know the words.
5 golden rings.
Ruth Bader
calling
Ginsburg.
birds.
All right,
Okay.
we fucking missed that one. So here we go.
Amidst tanneries and glue factories, most immigrants made the most of the hand dealt to them and worked hard to provide for their families. Others turned to more insidious means to make ends meet. The story of organized.
Real quick, I do want to say something funny. For the longest time, and I'm talking years, I thought ends meet was ends MEAT, like ends meet, like to eat.
Make ends meet. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, to make ends meet.
So what would that even
like
mean?
Scraps, like you get scraps just to make
at the end of the meat.
Exactly. Like here's the meat that everybody else is eating, and you get just ends
end
meat.
of it.
Yeah. You get ends meat.
It's the most cooked part.
Yeah. It's actually pretty delicious.
Yeah, if you like well done.
Yeah. Oh, medium rare, an aristocrat.
Yeah.
That's from Goodfellas, of course.
Organized crime in
So
America
what movie is this from,
begins
Jared?
as early as the 1830s, with the rise of
Call
a
it.
handful
Call
of
it.
predominantly Irish gangs in the slums
Gangs of
of
New York.
He's literally,
The most
he
prominent
literally
of these
said,
gangs was
and the
Rabbits.
gangs of New York,
I know, what are you gonna
directed by Martin Scorsese.
known as the Dead Rabbits. Based out of the poverty-stricken Five
Dead
Points,
Rabbits!
they arose as a defiant movement against class oppression imposed on poor Irishmen. Consequently, their
Check this
main
out.
rival, the Bowery Boys gang,
Bowery
was
Boys.
a xenophobic posse of
Supposed to
Protestant
be the
American-born nativists,
natives.
The
led
natives.
by Bill the Butcher Poole. The gangs fought street battles with
The
knives,
fact that these
hatchets,
guys are
spiked
real people
clubs,
is insane.
brass
Is so
knuckles,
great.
tomahawks,
Look at this
and
shit.
muskets, and their conflict
No
became an
guns.
inspiration for
Nope.
Herbert
Knives
Asbury's
and knives and
1927
hatchets.
non-fiction book.
Did you hear what he literally said?
Knives and
clubs,
hatchets.
Brass
brass
knuckles.
knuckles,
Yep,
tomahawks,
brass knuckles.
and muskets, and their conflict became an inspiration for Herbert Asbury's 1927
That's
non-fiction
a
book,
kill.
The Gangs of New York,
That's a
and
kill.
its movie adaptation by Martin Scorsese. The most prominent leader of the Dead Rabbits was John Old Smoke Morrissey, a professional
Old
boxer
Smoke.
who had made his fortune in prize fights, even becoming the champion of America in 1853. Morrissey soon took his violent lifestyle to the streets
To
of
the
Five
Five Points.
having
Yeah.
his most bitter rival, Bill Poole, gunned down
Killed
in a
him.
Broadway
Killed him.
saloon in a morbid statement against anti-Irish activism. In the following years, Morrissey
Freaking
became
Wild
the
West.
king of New
Bro,
York's
lit.
gambling scene, owning
Really.
racetracks and clubs that attracted such prestigious guests as Mark Twain, John D. Rockefeller, and Ulysses S. Grant.
Pretty dope.
Jeez.
Congress in 1867,
What a
where he always looked out
diverse
for
group.
the Irish, using strong-arm tactics to accomplish his goals. The 60s and 1800s Lower East End, a charismatic
Let's go. Skip a little bit ahead.
gangs,
Some
known
cool
as
shit.
Black Hand Violent Gang, was free. Born in Manhattan in 1899 to a pair of poor Italian immigrants, he dropped out of school at 14 to join Paul Kelly's 5 Points gang, working as a bouncer in one of their saloons. At 18, he was savagely attacked by a
Al Capone.
knife-wielding patron in a dispute
There you
over
go.
a woman. The
That's how it
assault
was in
left
California
the
in
young
the
gangster
70s.
with 3 lacerations on the left side of his face, which would give birth to his infamous nickname, Scarface.
No guns.
Yeah.
In 1919, he moved to Chicago, where he found work under the mob boss Johnny Torrio. Torrio soon retired and handed his criminal empire to Capone, which the young gangster proved to be
Keys to the
exceptionally
castle.
capable at running. By 1927,
But yeah, with the keys to the castle, it ain't shit unless you know how to run shit like Capone
king
did.
of the Windy
Yeah,
City,
and be feared and respected.
Yep, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
by the
run
entire
shit. Know how
organization.
to run
Yeah.
shit.
racetracks and brothels
'Cause
he
everybody wants
controlled
to come after
across
you.
the entire greater Chicago area. His main rival was George Bugs Moran, New York amongst themselves. The Jewish youth took a darker path than the rest of his family, delving into the world of gambling and blackmail. His
Who else we got?
could breed were suddenly making exponentially together and enrich one another in defiance of the government. At the height of Prohibition, mobsters across the country were suddenly making exponentially more money than their predecessors.
Right.
Before, the gangs had been limited to immigrant neighborhoods in poorer parts of cities,
Yeah.
but Prohibition had transformed them into high-flying international businessmen.
Yeah.
It now became
Check
commonplace
this out.
for every major crook
Lawyers,
to hire
accountants, real
lawyers,
estate
accountants,
agents.
real estate investors, and shipping contractors. By the mid-20s, the most powerful of kingpins were spending the equivalent of 7 million modern US dollars a month on
That's what it
bribes
was.
alone.
7 million
Still,
just on
they
bribes
remained
alone.
Violent, merciless criminals, using brutal methods to maintain control over their territory. Before long, it became evident that
Who's that
those
sitting
who
down?
lived by the Tommy gun would die by it. Even the most powerful of bosses were
Tommy
far
guns are
from
so
untouchable.
cool.
So dope.
In 1928, Rothstein was gunned down during a meeting at the luxurious Park Central Hotel over an unsettled gambling debt.
Is that how he was killed?
That's how he was taken out.
The
Over a gambling
escalating war
debt.
between Capone and Moran reached its crescendo on St. Valentine's Day of 1929.
So this is the Valentine's Day massacre?
Yeah.
When 7 Northsiders were openly murdered. This brazen, borderline public execution shocked the American public.
It's like straight out of Dick
In
Tracy.
1931,
I know.
Luciano murdered his boss Masseria and
Psycho.
defected to the organization of his
that's
biggest
in the
rival,
show.
fellow Sicilian Salvatore Maranzano. Maranzano consolidated control over all the major Italian crime families in New York and declared himself capo di tutti capi, boss of all bosses. However, young Luciano was not content with second place, and that same year hired the brutal Irish hitman Vincent Mad Dog Cole to take out his new boss. With Maranzano out of the picture, Luciano became the most powerful mobster in the country, by corruption that jailed up structure and the famous policy of ometta, the code of silence. In 1931, Al Capone was finally caught and jailed on charges of tax evasion. However, his arrest was almost inconsequential in the overall struggle against organized crime. By now, the mafia had tendrils in every level of American society, and Capone was just one drop in an ocean. By the beginning of the 1930s, Prohibition was rapidly losing support in Congress and amongst the media, and it became evident that all it had done was usher in an age of corruption that the law was helpless to combat. In 1933, the 18th Amendment was finally repealed, and alcohol finally became legal once more. However, the criminal empires that Prohibition had enabled
were still around and fucking kicking.
Yeah. Gave rise to the FBI. You needed the FBI because these guys were crossing state lines and smuggling across borders.
Crazy sons of bitches.
They had
dude.
criminal empires that would stretch across the country, so you couldn't just use local law enforcement anymore. You needed an FBI, and the FBI got hardcore.
Grime.
Man.
Yeah, they get Untouchables.
They knew everything.
What's it called? Yeah, all those movies where it
everybody.
just shows how fucking nutty they were. But we could talk Disney, but you got some stuffs, right? Or you want me to burn through the Disney shit? What do you want to do? Buddy?
Yeah. So, I mean, because we're in this time period, I thought it was interesting. It's the 105th anniversary of World War I ending. The end of World War I. And I thought it would be a good idea to just talk some World War stuff because there's a lot going on out there right now.
Fucking go.
People are we know that there's a lot of fighting going on. And have we seen fights like this before? Have we seen where certain policies can lead you and certain actions can lead you? We have, and we do. And I thought it'd be fun to talk about what World War I was, how it started, how it ended, who were the characters, because I'm seeing some history repeating itself right now.
Yeah,
and
just like with our 80s episode, man. Time loops, bro.
Yeah, we don't want another world war. We don't want it. Nobody wants it. But there are people that that benefit from them, and they think they want it, but they don't. If these people were around, maybe us talking about it, we can remind them of the atrocities. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, the short-term memory that everybody has.
Yeah, people are forgetting. But World War I, 105 years ago, the Great War, the war to end all wars is what they called it. I have a video clip of kind of what it looked like. Give you an idea of kind of how World War I looked. Timestamp, if you have it.
I got it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Timestamp.
Do you need it?
No, yeah, I know. I have the video. It's the timestamp.
Oh, okay. Give me a sec. I gotta tell you. 2:18. So this is like a glimpse into
You're dumb.
World War I. What?
Is this a glimpse into World War I? All right, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. So you get
wicked, my wicked.
So yeah, 1914 to 1918 is World War I. It all got what I thought something interesting about it, it all started with a single assassination, right? That's
Franz Ferdinand.
Exactly. Franz Ferdinand gets assassinated by this 19-year-old kid who yells, I want to free Serbia, and Serbia belongs to the people, or something like that, right after he kills him. And then he takes a cyanide pill that was expired. Yeah. So he doesn't kill him.
He lives.
So imagine he's out there, free Serbians.
Fuck you, everybody.
Yeah. I'll see you all in the afterlife. F you.
You're an ugly bitch.
I cheated on my wife, and I stole from my business partner.
I never loved my wife.
It's not working. Freedom!
Fuck all you again.
Yeah, shoot.
It went down.
I swear. Give it a second. Don't shoot me or anything, because
I'm gonna go out this way.
Yeah, this is what I.
This is my plan.
This is what I want. No,
I'm going
it's
out
not
my
working.
way.
Okay, well, all right, take me in.
Well, damn it.
So it doesn't work. He just makes him sick, and then he goes to jail, and then loses a limb from being so sick, and then he starves to death and dies in prison.
It's fucking Skyfall.
It's the worst.
I took the pill you told me to take.
Oh man!
I took the pill hidden in my tooth, and this happened.
Yeah. So
that's it.
That sucks.
And he was
only a 19-year-old kid. But
dude, could you at 19? Did you have any convictions other than trying to get laid?
Dude,
like that?
I've
never had any convictions like that.
And he's like, I'm gonna die a legend, and no, you're
What's his name?
Rot in prison.
Exactly. No legend status.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Gabriel or something. Princess.
Doesn't matter.
Something like that.
Not legend status.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect example. Ask somebody his name. You don't know his name. We know Franz
Who'd he
Ferdinand's
kill?
name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he kills this. So Franz was the.
He's like, everything backfired. This was the worst plan.
Yeah, it's the worst plan. Died a
the
skeleton.
cyanide. I didn't die. Yeah, it didn't kill me.
Died a starving
Nobody
skeleton.
knows my name. Everyone knows the fucking guy I killed.
Yeah, and he probably didn't think it was going to lead to millions of deaths.
And nobody ever says.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh no,
for
sure.
He did this for freedom.
Nobody ever
people.
says World War I was started by
Gabriel,
Gilbert. No, yeah, they're like it was started by the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. And so from what I know, it was real. It was sort of funny how, not funny, but it was sort of crazy how World War I started. So that assassination happened, and then everybody just started taking sides.
They all wanted it. So they didn't understand what was going, or maybe they did, and they're just disgusting.
Yeah.
The leaders back then.
I think at least some for sure.
So we had so you have Germany. So Franz Ferdinand was going to become the leader of Austria, right?
Yeah.
Austria wanted more land. They were in a conflict with Serbia.
I remember there's a great quote of his, the Austrian Franz Ferdinand. He said, "Listen to me. They come and they kill me."
Yeah, I figured it was going to be like an Arnold.
Schwarzenegger. We talk about him at least once an episode somehow.
That's true. But so yeah, this assassination happens, and so it increases the conflict between Serbia and Austria. Obviously,
thank you for the hearts.
The
and
leader
the smiley
just got
faces
assassinated.
Stuff.
But so backing Austria was Germany. Germany was like, we have so much wealth.
Germany was like
backing
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
But they just wrote like a blank check. They kept giving money to Austria, just giving them money to fight this war.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't have
Wait,
done
who
that,
was Germany? Okay.
So if they wouldn't have done that, Austria would have had to come to the table with Serbia, and agreement would have had to have been made. Right. There would have had to be some sort of. They would have had to negotiate.
Yeah.
Talk to each other.
They would have had to be brought to the table.
Something exactly.
Yeah.
Something it would have had to end. But because this very
keep them hearts coming, baby.
This very wealthy country wanted to fund Austria because he knew Germany knew that it would bring in some allies of Serbia. Serbia's ally was Russia, right? So then it brings in the Russians. Now the Russians have to start backing Serbia. So you have this proxy war with Russia on one side funding Serbia and Germany on the other side funding Austria. France is on the other side of Germany. And Germany's becoming a very powerful nation, right? So they want to weaken Germany. They're like, wow, with Germany on the Eastern Front engaged with Russia, if they start fighting with Russia, then they'll get weaker, and by So we'll be stronger, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So now France is hoping, is helping Russia so that they can, and again, funding them. France is writing checks
Isn't
now to
that
Russia.
fucking funny?
So there's these proxy wars going on where they're not engaged yet. France isn't engaged yet. Germany's not engaged, but they're getting Russia,
Funding.
Austria, Serbia. They're getting these smaller countries, and all these people are dying. Now Great Britain, they're like, well, right now we're the biggest dog.
Thank you guys. You rock.
We're the big dogs, right? They
Yeah.
have,
The
they have
GB.
the best Navy.
Oh yeah.
They think that they're strong enough where that they could take Germany if they needed to, but Germany, with their wealth and their growing power, is a threat also to Great Britain. So they don't come to the table. It was France could have come to the table. Britain could have ended all of this if they wanted to, just through negotiations or discussion. They refused to come to the table and help end any of these conflicts because they were trying to weaken Germany. They're trying to weaken another power that they felt was a threat to them. Yeah. Does that work? No. Eventually, all of these countries get pulled in and they all lose millions of their people into this war. So all of this could have been avoided. World War I didn't have to happen. A single assassination wasn't the reason for a world war. It was just an excuse to start a conflict with these two smaller nations, and then start the bigger nations are funding those. Then even bigger nations fund them, and now all of a sudden they have to get the backs of these countries that they have these alliances with because now they're getting attacked and they're losing, and then everybody gets pulled into it. So it's awful and it's avoidable, and we don't want this to ever happen again. America, because we were far away, we didn't even get involved until our trade was being interrupted by the war through Germany. Okay. And so we come in to help Great Britain, who was an ally of ours at the time. And had we not gotten involved, it probably would have ended in a stalemate and a negotiation. Once America got involved, there was no chance Germany could win. What's going on?
No, they're just spamming a bunch of hearts and stuff, and saying 100%. So they're just loving the comment.
Good, but yeah. So what do you think of that? The idea that countries could have ended this before it became the Great War.
War is money, right?
Yeah.
So war is money.
Yeah, and it comes down to trade goods always. It always comes down to what are we going to benefit from it?
Yeah, exactly. How do we benefit?
Or can we weaken somebody that might be a threat
an
to
enemy,
us?
Potential or even potential enemy.
Germany proved France wrong. They fought Western Front and Eastern Front, held both sides, and then started winning.
Which nobody saw.
They were very wealthy and powerful.
Yeah.
America during the war, they even said because like I said, it would have been a stalemate if America didn't get involved, and they would have had to come to the table sooner, and everybody would have had to have made an agreement where they could all walk away with something, right? America, when we got involved, we said we have to beat Germany into submission. Otherwise, there's a threat that they'll come back and do this again, right? That's not what happened. The European nations said, no, we're going to get them to a point where they have to come to the table, and we're going to get what we want out of them. We're going to make them pay.
Who said this?
The powers, the Central Powers is what they were called. So this is Great Britain, France, Serbia, versus Germany and Russia.
Is that what they're called? Because I know
they were called the Central Powers.
Because in World War II,
America was on that side.
It was Axis versus the
Allied. Yeah.
Allied.
Yeah.
And so World War I, it's the
Central Powers.
That's funny.
So yes, but instead of beating Germany into submission, and they instead did an armistice. And which is a ceasefire. Crazy enough, up until the ceasefire took effect, they were still fighting. Even though they knew it was about to end, there were some guys that wouldn't stop. They knew that it was over, but they would keep fighting. There was even this one guy who tried to storm. It was an American soldier. He lost his rank from sergeant to private. And so he decides to storm a machine gun outpost of the Germans, and they're trying to tell him, "Stop! No, there's a ceasefire. It's about to start in 2 minutes. Don't."
The armistice is
it's about to
come into effect.
Exactly. So they were even trying to tell him, "Stop!" He won't. He's shooting at them, running at them. So finally, so they unload and kill the guy.
They have to take him out.
He dies 1 minute before the armistice explains. How shitty is that?
What a dumb fuck.
Right? Yeah, literally 1 minute before the end of the war, this
dude,
soldier
the
gets
whole
killed.
time he's been gearing up,
Right.
and he had like a broken leg or something. And
He's
so
like,
like,
"I gotta
you can't fight, damn it." And he's like, "Oh, I'll heal." It's like, "It's at least 8 months." No, you can't. I'll do it. Finally, he gets up. Yeah, he puts on 2 bandoliers. He gets the
Right.
gun. It's like, "For America," whatever.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's what it was.
And they're like, "No, bro,
Yeah,
literally
stop."
minutes."
Oh, he's shooting at us. Stop shooting. No, don't. You're not going to. We're in this covered thing with a machine. He's not stopping. We got to do something. We got to. But it starts in 1 minute. All right.
This is why I'm. That's the end of him.
Beep, 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 beep. Oh, there it is. The armistice.
Yeah.
Well,
there, bye guys.
You know, that guy should be a sergeant.
Yeah.
He should be a sergeant.
Yeah. He was demoted.
Yeah, he was. And after that, they reinstated his rank to sergeant, but he was dead, so it didn't help.
Sergeant, fucking
much.
bones.
But World War One,
Sergeant Blood and Guts.
World War One came with a lot of horrific stuff. It was the invention of like the grenade, the invention of the
So the grenades
flamethrower.
are like the least powerful thing in the world. They're almost like an air bomb. There's no fire. There's nothing. It just.
It's the explosion that.
But it's not even like
rips your insides apart and shit.
If you swallow one, maybe.
No. Just being next to it. It's that explosion being next to it. It ruptures your insides just being close to it, and obviously destroys anything in the near area. Like they're pretty bad. Grenades suck.
No, they're bad.
Yeah, and
Like,
trenches.
They're not bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
In a trench that sucks. Well, yeah. If you get people, because like I've heard a bunch of military guys say like, dude, grenades are the worst. We never use grenades. They're a joke. Because it's like this little thing, and you throw it and just go in a little small area.
Right.
So if guys are huddled up in a trench,
Yes.
yeah, it's going to do damage.
Yeah,
You're blowing
yeah.
off limbs. Yeah,
That's
it's
what
good.
they used it for. Yeah.
In a field, you
Or if you're
chuck it
in a
across
tank,
the field.
yeah, and they drop it in a tank.
Like if it landed right here, you'd be like, oh, fuck.
It could disable
Okay,
vehicles.
okay.
There's some good uses for grenades, I think.
The best uses is Saving Private Ryan, the sticky grenades.
Yeah. They could.
That was like
really
C4, actually. That was
screw up some
plastique or
tanks.
something, right? That wasn't grenades. So grenades suck.
No, they use grenades.
But not in that scene. It was like plastic explosives.
Weird.
What does plastique even mean?
Plastique. Yeah, it's spelled differently too.
Yeah, it's Q, right?
Well, it is like it's made of some different material, so maybe there's.
Is
I
it-
don't know. I don't know the.
I think plastique is the name of the
makeup.
material.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know that it
Plastic
requires
explosive.
like some sort of electrical current in order to ignite it.
Did you turn cold air on in here?
Oh yeah, because I'm wearing my World
you're
War
a
One
son
jacket.
of a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
Not too
wearing a
cold.
jacket.
Well, I thought you were.
Oh, it's
gonna
not too cold
wear
for you?
Something
Okay, good.
for Prohibition. You're the guy that dresses up for the
What
shows.
am I gonna wear? A parka? So, but Jameson, this is a fucking Irish whiskey. The Irish were all about it.
Yeah.
It's
I was
whiskey.
picturing
so it's,
like a zoot suit type thing, so I was thinking,
if I owned a zoot suit, you fucking know I'd be wearing
dude,
it.
that'd be sick if you wore a zoot
You
suit.
know I'd be wearing it.
The flamethrower. What an awful. I mean, you could shoot that thing like
Napalm.
100 feet.
Napalm.
Yeah, that was later on though. That
Oh,
they didn't
shit.
have that. In
Ah,
yeah.
ah. No matter what, it's just a sticky substance.
It's awful.
Dude,
and
we're
they
g-
would just drop it in entire areas. Dude, what about
Keep those hearts and shit coming. What did Given Life say?
You got to think that they were fighting next to each other. Yeah, grenades were the best thing to use. It's true.
Yeah, no,
So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
World War One trench
yeah.
warfare.
Oh my God, yeah.
That
You
was
lob a few grenades in there.
Think of the horrific. I mean, these leaders could have ended it. They were so thick with mud that they would get what was called mud foot, where like your feet would just die.
Yeah.
They'd have to be
Predator
amputated.
couldn't see them at all.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like invisible.
It's true.
To
You'd be in Predator. Yeah, Predators wouldn't.
Come
trench
on,
warfare.
come here.
Yeah, and the Austrians. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
fought
That's what-
Predators.
that's
But no man's land, like we just saw in that clip. That's where
Wonder
like
Woman.
the German army would be on one side, the French army on the other side, and there'd just be this area that if you tried to cross it, you would be shot. So because they're in trenches on both sides, so you can't hit each other while you're in the trenches, and you can't throw a grenade far enough. So the best, and they would just had rifles back then, and some machine guns were invented
Machine
during
gun
World War One.
Kellys, yep.
But yeah, so you tried to cross, you would just get killed. So it would just be these, like I said, a stalemate where no ground was gained on either side for a
no
long time.
man's
Yeah.
land.
So chemical weapons invented for World War One.
Fun.
Awful. Remember all the gas masks and
Of course. course. What's the one? The mustard gas. Ugh.
Yeah, horrible stuff. Yeah.
Was that World War II? That was World War II.
They would do when they cleaned the gas mask. What they would do is put them in a bowl of goldfish, and if the goldfish survived, then it was clean enough. Yeah. Think about that.
How about just use like Lysol
test.
and wipe it?
Well, they don't know. They got to do like a living test or make sure a person can put it.
What's
back
that called?
on.
Where in the army where you do that, they put like mustard gas and then you have to or tear gas.
Yeah, it's tear gas for sure.
Yeah, mustard gas.
Yeah.
No, it's
part of training. Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to go
and you
through
come out
that.
and you're just
they want you to know so you know what it's gonna feel like, and
which is
if you're
so
in that
crazy. Like
situation.
I get why they do it, but fuck, like Hell Week for like the SEALs.
Yeah.
It's like you might have to be freezing cold, so here you go, here you are, and they do terrible things. Like they'd be like,
what's
you
the
know
worst
what?
part of it? They make you
Hell
drown.
Week.
Yeah, they force you to drown. Yeah, so that you know what that feels like. Yeah, and then they bring you back.
That's in basic training. Yeah, that's in basic where you do the gas. I forget what it's called exactly, but yeah, it's like the gas test. They throw you in a room and they fucking pop the things, pop, and then they're like, "All right, enjoy."
They had napalm in Vietnam too. They used to drop napalm in Vietnam from helicopters.
We've all seen what's it called? An Apocalypse.
Oh,
Now.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. That's right.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Apocalypse
that's where that
Now.
line comes from. Napalm is an evil substance.
So fucked.
It was actually invented by the ancient Greeks.
It's like silly putty on fire.
We just reinvented it and used it for the same thing. So they had
so American of us,
right? Like in what's it called? The best one of the best shows ever, Fire and Ice.
Oh yeah. The Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Remember they have that what do they call it? Wildfire? Is that what they called it?
Yeah,
the
that's
green.
exactly what it's called. Yeah.
And it was napalm basically. You couldn't put it out, and if you tried to touch
Fucking,
it would just light you on fire.
On the water, it was burning.
Yeah, it would burn
burnt
on the
up
water.
all those boats.
Because it's a chemical. So they use wildfire. But the ancient Greeks they had a way to like spray like a flamethrower this wildfire on boats, and they took out all kinds of
the worst.
So the ancient Greeks they were smart, man. They came up with some.
Well, yeah.
There's so much stuff we still use from them. Our entire system of government is based on what they came up with back then. Yeah.
The democratic system,
right?
For sure.
But they also gave us napalm.
Yeah, and they also gave us gladiators, and which is like MMA.
Kind of like
now.
MMA.
I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
people always are going to want to watch people fight each other.
Well, it's so cool because like chess is great. You get to see a brilliant mind against a brilliant mind. This is like you have to rely on your physical prowess on every movement. So it's every thought, when somebody faints or flinches at you, gotta, if you overreact, then they know.
Yeah, there's a total mental side to fighting for sure.
It's all mental. I mean, of course, it's not all mental, but it's like a big portion.
You got to be an athlete. You got to be pretty smart.
Shape, yeah.
Some guys are tanks. They can just literally take hits until they beat you. But mostly you got to be strategic.
Diaz can just eat punches.
The greats are strategic.
For sure.
Like Ali. Like they're really they're figuring you out.
Joe Frazier. Yeah. Dude, Ali was the best. But so best movie ever. The graphics not working for us.
Hold on, before we get there.
Look at this.
Oh shit, we're almost out of time. Yeah. Okay. One interesting, I want to know what you thought about this.
Yeah.
During World War I, so in the trenches, you had trench foot, which sucked, right? You're in these muddy trenches. But because of the bloody dead bodies everywhere, you would get wolf packs.
Oh, fucking
imagine all night long, like you're trying to just sleep in a muddy trench,
and they're eating
Jeremy.
You
hear, your friends are being eaten, but then they're coming for you. There'd be times where soldiers from both sides would have to stop fighting each other to fight wolves. Packs.
Fucking dope.
How cool is that?
Talk about cool.
It's cool because it's horrific.
I think I sent it to you. Oh, I sent it to Felicity Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
There's a video of how a wolf pack like moves.
Yeah.
Bro, so who's in the front, would you say, of the wolf pack?
The alpha?
No.
Okay.
So in the front is like warriors. Okay?
Okay.
In case, what is wrong with this fucking rogue ass hair? So in case enemies attack from the front, you need the badass motherfuckers. Right?
Okay.
And then
they actually set themselves up in like a battle formation?
I'm wrong.
Okay.
In the front is the older people, the older the older wolves.
Really?
Yeah. So the older wolves who are slower, Yeah. So
That's
and they're in front because they keep pace. Otherwise, they'd fucking get lost.
Yeah.
Because the other
Left
ones would take
behind.
off. They'd get left behind. So they're in front. Behind them is the fucking beast, right?
Okay.
Behind them is the women and children.
Okay.
And behind them is another group of the fucking alpha or the big bads,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah,
bad
yeah.
motherfuckers. And in the very back
Okay.
is the alpha watching
So
the whole pack.
Watches everything, and then
So-
in case something comes from behind,
In
he's
case
got
something
it.
comes from behind, you have the alpha and you have that group to attack. The women are safe.
Yeah.
If they attack from the front, you give the time for the group right behind the older
Yeah.
to get up there and to make sure the women and children are protected.
Shit.
It's genius. And it's all them, bro. It's
You
all
would
them.
love these Godzilla movies, dude.
I'll check 'em.
Yeah,
I'll check 'em.
because
I'll peep
all
some.
of this is a part of that, the King of the Monsters movie. They use the sounds of wolf packs and different apex predators to try and either make them aggressive or docile
Yeah.
or attract them because it's an alpha sound, right? So they use alpha frequencies of different animals combined to control these titans, the monsters. Isn't that cool? It's a cool
Yeah.
idea, dude.
Do your
check that
howling.
out.
Do your howling wolf. I said a wolf, not a rooster. What movie? What movie?
That's a movie?
I said a wolf, not a rooster. All right, I'll do the impression better. Ready?
Okay.
Shit. How the fuck does he talk? I said, listen here, listen here, and I can guarantee you, I said a wolf, not a rooster. I said a wolf.
Yeah, but I still don't know
not
what
a
movie it is.
rooster.
Yeah.
You don't know what movie it is?
No.
I didn't
He
know.
asked
I didn't know
somebody
you
to
like
do
to
a
get
wolf
wet.
sound?
I didn't know you like to get
Oh,
wet.
Training Day?
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking you're right. Training Day.
That's a great movie. Yeah. But
Speaking of great movies, best movie ever is Boardwalk Empire.
Yes, it is. Oh my god. Best character ever, Chalky White. Oh my god.
Chalky
dude.
White's great.
And he
Nucky
passed
Thompson's
away,
great. He's dead.
last
Yeah,
year,
fucking Michael, whatever
Dude,
his name
he
is.
killed it in The Wire. He's so good.
Yeah, as the yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's good though.
if you had to rate Boardwalk Empire, the graphics not working for some fucking annoying goddamn reason.
Bullshit. It's annoying.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. If I am a genius, which I am,
Dude, imagine having to like join up with the Germans to fight wolves. Like that's just so sick to me. Like that needs to be in a film. It probably is. We got to find a film with that in it. Dude, fighting wolf packs like in World War I with those weapons and like at night, whole wolf packs coming at you, and you got to be like, yeah, 9, wolf,
10, 11. Okay. So ready?
Yeah.
I think I can do it. I think I'm a genius.
Figure it away. It's also the 100th anniversary of King Tut's tomb being opened. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's just
no,
another
that's fucking
anniversary.
sick. I didn't
Dude,
know that.
did you know that there is no curse written anywhere on King Tut's tomb at all? There's no, you know how like it's like
Really?
people think that there's like this
Yeah, of course.
curse of King Tut, and that
Yeah.
it's said somewhere like he who enters or if you remove anything from this tomb, you'll be cursed. There is nothing like that at all. That's all just made up.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like a commonly held thing that people think there is a curse that they enacted when they went in there, and that they knew they were going to be cursed because it said it somewhere, or even written on the casket. It wasn't. There's nothing about a curse.
God, I'm smart.
It's just a bunch of people died that were part of it, but it's just weird. But yeah, King Tut's tomb's 100 years ago.
That's fucking sick, man. So yeah, that's why this is an anniversary episode. It is
There's just some
something's
wild
up with
anniversaries this year.
90 years of Prohibition, 100 years
Yeah.
of Disney, and we didn't really get to talk Disney. I can show a quick little thing, but so if you had to say,
Yeah,
0 out of 10, or how many out of 10, what is it? Richard Harrow half faces.
yeah. At least 7, probably
I'd say
8.
7 or 8.
Yeah, so 7.5.
I'd say 7.5.
Let's do it.
7.5.
Yeah, because it is so good. I've watched it more than once.
7.5. Half Harrow faces.
There it is. Congratulations, Boardwalk Empire. You are a great show. We miss you.
Keep it up. Keep up the
it
good
up.
work that you ended.
Yeah, but let me know in the comments what you think of that.
Yeah, seriously, such a fucking good. Oof.
Yeah,
so good.
And let me know in the comments what you think about the King Tut thing. Did you think there was a curse? Did you
do all the
I
let
think
me know in the
everybody
comments
thinks
so I can make shorts out of them.
That's why I'm doing them.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments about World War One. Did you know? And then what was it?
Prohibition.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Prohibition. 90 years. Let me know in the comments what you think about that.
I like it. I like it.
But seriously, let us know because, yeah, Prohibition, it literally built organized crime. We know that it gave rise to.
Are you sure the tomb wasn't radioactive?
So, I'm not saying there wasn't something.
Are
that
you
hurt
sure?
people.
No, okay. That's
Why
what
is-
Given Life asked.
Oh yeah. So there's a theory that there was some
going on with your
radioactivity
fucking
that
camera?
caused a few of the people that were part of opening it to die. What I'm saying is there has always been this rumor that the people who opened the tomb when they uncovered it, that there was a warning written that you would be cursed if you opened the tomb. There was no written curse. It's just a misnomer. Some people think that this is a thing.
So Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit?
Yeah.
That's not what he said.
I'm still interested in their version of time travel. I think about it all the time. The MCU's
time,
version.
so-
I do. Like every once in a while, it'll come to me. I'll be like, "Wait, but then how does this?"
It doesn't.
make
It doesn't add up.
sense?
Even the directors and the writers
Yeah.
disagree. So let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of Disney's 100th anniversary.
Yeah, MCU, man. What a crazy thing! Did you know
Walt Disney Company was launched.
Walt Disney wanted to fight in World War I, but he was too young. So he ended up driving ambulances in France just to help. Like he just wanted to be a part of it so bad. It reminded me of like a Steve Rogers almost.
Who is this?
Walt Disney himself.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
but
he
wasn't he
wanted to be
like
a part of the
super like
conflict.
Nazi? What side was he going to be on?
Well, he was
World War One or two? You said
World
two,
War
obviously.
No,
one.
He was too young.
Oh, he was
to
too
fight.
young.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
He wanted to fight in World War I, but he was too young. But so he went to France and helped drive ambulances just to do his part. He wanted to do his part.
Oh yeah, did he sew and knit also? I'm calling him a woman, which isn't a bad thing.
No, I just thought it was interesting that he was like so about it. And America, they were actually right that the Treaty of Versailles caused World War II. The reason World War II happened was because of how World War I ended. The reason World War I started was because leaders weren't talking to each other, and larger powers were funding smaller powers and letting these conflicts get bigger and doing these little proxy wars. And at the end of the day, it pulled them right into it too, and 16 million people died in World War I.
Crazy.
Yeah, there was a flu during the same time that killed 50 million people.
Oh, fun.
America
So
brought
just
that
a good time to be
Europe.
alive, baby.
Yeah, flus are crazy, bro.
Flus suck.
They kill so many people.
Oh, Tina, stuff I never knew. ...
Yeah.
She's pretending she's watching and caring about what we're talking
Come
about.
on, this is interesting
sweet.
stuff. It's true.
Yeah, but that's like the most basic like comment. Like she already had that ready. She just hit enter. She just waited for it to
No,
hit
Tina,
enter.
she watches.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fucking.
She watches.
I'm just fucking with her. Hopefully she gets my jokes. Because some people don't get understand humor or understand anything. Because I know
Or context.
don't understand context. I know some of the shorts we put out. People are like, "You're so dumb."
Oh, I
that
know.
you think
That's
that."
that's the best.
I'm
though.
like,
You
"Oh,
gotta give it
that's
to those
great." We
people.
think the opposite.
Yeah.
But I'm never mean in the comments. We're trying to garner a nice toxic free comment section.
That's true.
Damn near impossible on YouTube, but
know.
we're trying our best. So everyone's like, "Are you fake being nice?" I'm like, no, this is just how we are.
That's funny.
We're just sweet people.
What a funny thing to ask.
I know. No, people, they're like, "This is a bunch of bullshit. Are you just making fun of us all? Are you just fucking with us?" Like, no, we're genuinely
engaging with
Yeah.
you because we enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I know it is. So Disney, man, fucking 100 years, pretty cool too.
Yeah, good for them.
Because they've done a lot.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna do
between
so
the
much
MCU
more.
and Star Wars. And I
bought
do have
Fox.
that. What's it called? Coming out soon. The
Dude, imagine you buy Marvel, you buy Star Wars, and then you're like, I'm gonna buy Fox too because they have some of our characters that I bought from these guys.
Yeah.
Whoa, they're huge. Disney is massive.
And I'm gonna make a deal with Sony so that I get that shit back.
Disney is
and Universal.
massive.
I'm gonna wait for their shit to lapse because they're not coming out with a new Incredible Hulk
yeah, and then
movie.
we're
And I'm
gonna
gonna
we'll
get that
get that back.
And now we're just gonna have everything under one umbrella.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fuck it all up
Are
by
they
doing
too big?
shitty Disney Plus shows. Too big to fail.
They forcing you to buy Disney Plus because there's so much good content on there, dude.
Well, there's so much content on there, but
A lot of it's good.
and most of it is
Andor?
not good.
Okay.
Haven't seen it.
What?
I started watching it and I very much enjoy it.
Okay, good.
But dude, I don't want to be.
What about this World War I jacket? Come on, tell me I don't look like I'm about to fly.
Oh, it's the bomber. Is that the jacket I wore for the?
I think it was a World War I themed characters.
Well, I was a pilot. Remember?
Yeah,
so I had the
War I.
bomber jacket. World War I. Yeah, I was a pilot. Oh, remember that was so fun, dude. We're doing another murder mystery. We got it. It's so much fun. But
yeah, those are cool.
I just heard we're doing another one for someone's birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Those
anyway,
are the best.
That's it,
dude. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, good episode. A lot of content.
Fun.
Thank you to the chat. Giving life. Good to see you as always, man. Chase Mac, Tina. Thank you for making sure we know that you don't know what we know and that it's fun for you. That's exciting.
Well said.
Like and subscribe. Share the videos. That helps us immensely. Check out some of our new shorts. There's so much fun stuff in there. Our latest Crash Talk. People are... I mean, it has a lot of views. People really are enjoying that. If you haven't seen that, watch that episode. It's great.
Yeah.
So thanks, McKenna. Thanks, Jessica. Anyone else I'm forgetting? All the live people, thank you so much. D-Livewire, we all appreciate you. Felicity, being in the comments or in the chat. If you haven't watched this live, do it or leave comments. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what part of the show that you liked or other parts or other topics you want us to cover.
Yeah, please.
We want to hear from you. That's the main thing I'm trying to say.
So, if you guys are still watching, and I'd like to think that you are, please do us a kindness and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, but definitely hit the like, because we see there'll be like 20 people watching live and we'll get 6 likes, and it's like, what? So like, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
We appreciate the heck out of you.
Or you'll be cursed by King Tut.
Dude, I didn't say it.
King Tut said it.
I don't know who said that.
He said it without
ether. It's in the ether, baby. It's in the ether. So we love you. D-Livewire, Tina, Given Life always adds so much to the conversation. Chase, my boy, JB, Jessica, Brittany, you rock, you all rock. We will see you Thursday. We have a fun Crash Talk with a lot of pop culture stuff to discuss. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you on Thursday. Love you guys. Make sure to hit the like and then leave comments and watch all our shorts and love everything. We love you so much, guys. And we will see you on the flippity flop. Deuces.
Yes.